Going on, traders? It is March 6th, 2024. It is 2:29 p.m. It is the professional trader here back with another video. It is Wednesday, so today is just going to be me giving my personal opinion on the markets and just doing some technical analysis on some of the markets that I'm looking at. Um, this is the current state of my FTMO account, my phase two one for anybody who is following me on that journey. My balance is at 10,111, and with equity, I am up 10,146. This is the trade that I have going at the moment. But that is that. I want to talk about some of the news that came out today. We had Joe's job openings, and we had ADP non-farm employment change. So we see kind of the same thing has been going on fundamental wise, if that makes any sense. I want to take a quick step back and go from last week Monday, go from last week Monday to Friday. And we see if we take a look at some of the fundamentals that came out, last week, we see that numbers have been cooler than expected, right? We see cooler than expected numbers, cooler than expected numbers right here. We saw cooler than expected numbers right here. Same. And then I believe, and then cooler than expected, right? That was all last week. And then coming into this week now, right? We fast forward to till today again. We go from Sunday to Friday. And we see that starting off the week on Tuesday, we had numbers that have been cooler than expected. And today, ADP non-farm employment change, right? We're kind of getting the same thing, right? Numbers cooler than expected. We had Mr. Powell speaking today. I was kind of half asleep when that happened, so I really couldn't tell you too much on what he said. We had Joe's jobs openings. Um, the number was better than expected, but it's not highlighted green for some reason. It's pretty interesting. I'm not too sure why, but right, the theme in the markets have been, numbers have been, cooling pre rate cut talks, right? The markets were just spiking up because, it's looking like rate cuts aren't coming anytime soon, right? But the last 2 weeks now we're seeing numbers have been cooler than expected, right? So it'll be interesting to see, when those rate cut talks do become more serious. But just with that small knowledge of the fundamentals, we can take that and we can apply that, to the market with a little bit of price action, right? So we have numbers that have been cooler than expected. And, today we see that the market has, finally, trended in a direction, sort of after really just consolidating back and, forth, just doing all this, right? But today we see that we've actually, finally broken in a direction, right? And, zooming out, we had this 4 hour trend line, that we were kind of bouncing and respecting. Price would make a higher low, higher high, higher low, potentially was looking for that higher high and didn't make it. And now we're kind of breaking out of that trend line, starting to trend, to the right side, right? And no more not trending this way anymore, but looking like we're starting to trend, maybe this way, finally. But we'll just have to, continue to see if the DXY does, make those lower lows continually. But Um, you know, personally at the moment, I'm more bearish on the DXY. So I was looking for, bearish opportunities. So, I was looking to buy other things versus selling. But, for me and, my analysis to continue, I'm looking to see if we can get this DXY to, maybe potentially bounce back up here and, and fail and start to continue down. Tomorrow we have unemployment claims as well, and Mr. Powell is speaking again. So, if we get numbers that are cooler than expected, as far as this goes, then, sorry about that. We should see, the dollar continue. So if we get a push up, on this DXY, I won't be looking to buy, but rather I'll be looking to sell this and, whether that's buying, AUD, USD or selling USD CAD, but I'll be looking to follow bearish analysis on the DXY. So that's just my quick opinion on the dollar. Pairs that I am looking at right now is AUD USD. I'm in a trade right now. I've cut off half of it. I'm just letting half run. Just because going into tomorrow, if we do get those cooler than expected numbers, then we can and should potentially see a change in the direction of the markets and potentially see this go higher. But sorry, my mindset on AUD USD has just been after breaking out of this 4 hour resistance and printing this high right here. You know, I saw this as a, just a change in the market, potentially. And, from a wave market theory, from this Fibonacci high low to this Fibonacci high, we pulled up here and retraced to the 618, kind of almost touched that 786. So I took a buy around somewhere here on Friday after we got cooler than expected numbers. I took a trade from, I believe, this candle to this candle. I closed it out somewhere around here right before markets closed. So then, we see that the markets opened up, retesting that 618 level a little bit, really that 786, it hit it almost to the T, just literally maybe about one pip away, right? But we hit that 786 level, right? And we see that we, created another high. But I took the trade, dropped down to the 15 minute, pre-news pre-news. So, we had this high right here, came down. We had another high. So when the market was, somewhere around here, I was anticipating that we would get a break of this mini resistance right here. And, pre-news, market was floating higher. So I went ahead and took a buy, anticipating that with the cooler than expected numbers on the DXY, we would just kind of see the same thing, going on. And, we did get that new high on AUD USD. So is AUD USD bullish now? It's a little too hard to say. And that's why I've removed 50% of my entry that I was in just around this resistance level right here. It's a little too early to say per se if this chart is, realistically bullish because we have this resistance level right here, and then we have this resistance level right here as well. But ultimately still looking for the break of this level right here, right? Before we really look to take it higher. But if we do get those cooler than expected numbers, then any kind of retracement, you know, does look good, right? To continue to buy this market. And as long as this market, realistically doesn't dip all the way, back here, then I think realistically, the buy is still pretty valid, right? As long as we don't close below the support level right here, right? I think buying this chart is still, a valid opportunity as long as we see those cooler, than expected numbers as well. So, for me personally, if we pull back to this once, mini resistance level right here, I'll be looking to maybe, add, another entry, right? If price action shows that, there are buyers looking to potentially, step in, right? So if price pulls over here and we start to get some type of reaction, some kind of wicks, then I'll be looking to, potentially buy. But that's AUD USD. I'm not really looking to sell it right now. I'm not looking to add any entries up here. I closed out half of my lot size. So I was in a $2 lot size. I closed out half of it. So I have a $1 lot running. closed out for $35 and I, have, whatever I have running. I haven't moved my stop loss to break even yet. So we'll really just be managing it, as the hours go on. But that's AUD USD. That's what I'm looking at. And another chart I'm looking at is Euro AUD. If anybody is watching from the previous videos I make, you'll know that I've been looking at AUD USD for a while now, and I've been buying it, and I did buy it from somewhere down here, and I rode it all the way from down here to about right here. Got stopped out somewhere right here, right? But after coming here, we pulled another high, and now we're back here. And from a wave theory standpoint, um, I'm looking at it, as this being the first wave in the market, this being the correction. Then, we had a mini correction over here. Then I'm looking at this as the third wave. And then, possible fourth wave correction. And then, another impulse to the market, right? Because they say from a wave theory standpoint, the market moves in waves of five. So I still do believe that this market can, continue to the upside, once more. And if we take our Fibonacci tool from this swing high to the swing low, it matches up with, with the 382 perfectly, right? And just from what I know, I'm not saying this is fact, so don't take what I'm saying as fact, but from a wave theory standpoint, after the first wave, the market will usually retrace to that 50% 618, 786 level, right? So you saw that, we had that 618 level, that happened right here. Price pushed up, retracement, blah, blah, blah. And then, now we're here again from the swing low to the swing high. And they say the second impulse usually retraces to the 382 level, right? Which is where we're at right now, which just so happens to line up with what was once heavy resistance. We failed once, two times, three times, four times, five times, broke above, retested it, broke higher, and now we're back here. So I'm not ready to sell Euro AUD, but I'm not ready to buy just yet. Um, this was a big impulse candle, to the downside. So I'm looking for more momentum from a bullish perspective, for me to buy this candle. So I would like to see a couple more 4-hour candles come in right before I start to buy. So if we break higher, then break higher again, then, I'll be looking to potentially, sell it like that, with a stop loss, right around here, looking back to these highs. So that's how I'll be looking to attack your AUD. But if we don't and we just kind of bounce around like that, then I'll be looking to, try to catch it, on that wick again. But we'll keep my eye on it. I do like the buys, but I'm not rushing, to buy just yet. I want price to confirm that there are, potential buyers in this level, right? Before I, try to get a good risk to reward on the trade. So that's pretty much everything that I'm, just looking at. I'm keeping it pretty simple for this week. But you see that GBP USD, right? Close out of that trade last week. You see that we're breaking above, looking like the sale might be over with, but still just a little too early to say, right? We have all this, resistance and all this noise just right here. So I'm leaving GBP USD alone at the moment. USD CAD, looking like the bullish train might be over with as well, right? Would like to see, another low come in. If we could get another low, we'll try to attack it, to these next support levels and then, so on and so forth. But really not a setup on USD CAD for me just yet, even though I am, pretty bearish on it. I almost took a sell up here earlier this morning, just with all the triple tops and the wicks going up here. But I took AUD USD just because it made more sense from a wave theory standpoint and a price action standpoint. Euro USD kind of the same thing going on, buying but just not looking to buy it just yet. We've broken above here, so you could say technically this is the first impulse, of a change in the market. So, you know, a correction, could until this goes higher. But like I said, just not watching it, just not yet, at least. Gold, really no setups on it, gone without me. Not watching this. USD JPY, we're right at that, one support level. So if we get a break of this, right, we could say that's the first wave of the market in another direction. Any kind of retest, would look good to try to continue that. So, maybe USD JPY, but that's pretty much it. We have news that comes out tomorrow. So I most definitely will try to do my best to do a post analysis market on that. But that is my general analysis on the markets. Appreciate to anybody who took the time to listen. I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of the day. As always, thank you guys. Thank God as well. And I will catch you guys on the next video.